Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 8 of We Like Chips. My name is David, and with me is my partner in crime, Robby. Say hi, Robby.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for your continued support and watching. And today's episode, we are going to talk about the best movie series, in my opinion. Okay. Guess what it is? It starts with an H. It's Harry Potter.
Okay.
Okay. Vero doesn't like Harry Potter.
No. I think it's okay. I'm liking it so far. I don't hate the movies.
I forced him to watch the first three movies, so we're gonna talk about it.
But before we do that, I've noticed that you're holding your microphone. Were you holding your microphone last episode as well?
Yeah. Well, the Bachelorette movie, the Bachelorette series, I think I was holding it.
Okay. I like how you're holding it. I don't know. I think it like makes you look more loose and fun.
Well, my mic stand broke, so don't buy cheap mic stands from Amazon because the part that broke was made from plastic. I left the review, okay, because I used Robby's account Amazon account to buy stuff, and I left a really bad rating review on the mic stand because it sucked. And I only had it for like less than half a year, and it broke. I hate it. I need to get a new one. So if you guys have any recommendations, please recommend me a new mic stand. For now, I'm holding my mic.
I kind of like it when you're holding it. I don't know if you should get a stand for your day-to-day use, but I kind of like you holding your mic. I think it just makes you look cooler and more like interactive.
Maybe I'll keep like this then.
Yeah, maybe
Thank you.
Maybe we can put that as a Spotify question, you know?
Okay.
Should he use a mic stand or not?
People aren't even gonna see me on Spotify.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. Okay, they can just imagine.
They still matter to me. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Shout out to Angeli, one of our listeners, because she told me she's been telling people to listen to our show, which you shouldn't because we're trash.
Yeah.
But thanks for telling people. You know, I appreciate that.
I appreciate it too.
Also, she's a huge Harry Potter fan too.
Oh.
Which it's funny because I feel like I've been friends with her since like 2012, which is when I met her, which is before you even, and she was always very vocal about liking Harry Potter. I have no idea how she never convinced me to watch Harry Potter. Even back then, I think maybe because I was a Star Wars stan and I would be like, anything besides Star Wars is trash. I was really annoying about it.
Yeah.
And now I'm more open-minded, you know?
Yeah.
Accepting of other people's cultures and differences.
Exactly. You watch anime now, so that's great. All right. So for those who haven't watched Harry Potter, which you guys should, it's originally a book series from J.K. Rowling.
A children's book series? Just wanted to clarify that.
Children. So you can bring your kids and watch the movies too. It's in the early 2000s, I guess. So it's a pretty old series, but it still holds up to this day, I believe. Yeah. It still holds up to this day. So the first movie is called Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Sorcerer's Stone? Sorcerer's Stone.
Okay, fun fact. So before you continue, when I was growing up, I evolved pop culture pretty well, and I remember it being called Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. No, Philosopher's Stone. Oh. And when I started looking up this movie, I noticed it was called Sorcerer's Stone. And I was like, oh my god, it's the Mandela effect in full force. I remember it being Philosopher's Stone, not Sorcerer's Stone. What is going on? However, Googled it. Turns out that sometime between then and now, they changed the name from Philosopher to Sorcerer's Stone because they felt like children nowadays would not pick up a book that talked about philosophers in comparison to sorcerers.
Wait, so was actually Philosopher?
Yeah, it was originally called Philosopher's Stone, yeah. Unless I'm wrong, and people can correct me, but from what I Googled, it was called Philosopher's Stone at one point.
That's kind of true, because I thought when watching the movie, I was like, they talked about it, right? I was like, isn't that what the Philosopher's Stone does? They can like make anything possible, turn lead into gold kind of thing. But I guess it's a Sorcerer's Stone. I didn't know that. Wow, nice fact.
Because I remember, even when I was watching Full Metal, because like I said, I just finished Full Metal Alchemist. I remember thinking like, oh, Sorcerer's Stone. I guess that's what it is in Harry Potter as well. Because I remember it being called Philosopher's Stone, not Sorcerer, Philosopher's Stone. And
you're confusing yourself now.
Too. But yeah, so maybe I mean you could check check my sources later. But from what I read, it seems like it was called Philosopher's Stone at one point, and they changed it to Sorcerer's Stone for children, especially nowadays. You know, the newer audience.
The newer audience. Well, yeah, a lot of things happen in the first movie. A lot of background, character development, I would
Yeah.
believe. So overall, though, what'd you think about it before we jump
Okay.
into it?
Overall, as a children's movie, I'd give it like an 8 out of 10. You know, it was if I'm looking at it like a child, I'm like, oh, pretty solid. If I'm looking at it from like a movie, perspective, I'd give it like a 7, maybe high, maybe 6.5. Maybe like light 7,
Oh,
strong 6. That's what I'd probably
okay.
consider it because okay, there's just so much that happened in that movie. I mean, there was so much that happened, but also nothing
Rant.
happened. There was so many things that I had questions about, and
It's to develop the story, for the
yeah.
future movies.
So this is what I'll say. Okay, so in the movie, Harry's living with his uncle and aunt, and he lives under the
Yes.
stairs, pretty shitty. He's just getting all these letters, I guess, to get invited to Hogwarts on his 10th birthday or something like that. It was 12th birthday, and then
Mm-hmm.
he, they get attacked with letters. He's being bullied by his family. We learn that he can speak to snakes. Eventually, Hagrid shows up and takes Harry with him, and goes to Hogwarts. And I think everyone is like, "Oh, look, it's Harry," and everyone's like, "Oh, he's so famous." And to me, that's fine. But it was just very confusing to me as a viewer at first to like just suspend my disbelief and be like, I guess everyone knows him. And then
He's famous.
yeah, and I mean, eventually, as you watch it, I do think the series has gotten better and appreciate it more, and I appreciate that stuff is being revealed, kind of like an onion,
Uh
all these
huh.
layers.
Kind of like an
So
onion.
that is cool. I think some of my criticism would be that the acting isn't the best, but to be fair, they are children,
They're like
so like I'm
kids.
probably going a
Yeah.
little too hard on them. Uh, I do think something that I kind of wish there was more of was him being a wizard or using magic more. I think in that whole movie, I don't think he casted a single spell, and to me that was a
Hmm.
little odd. I think.
Well, they're just first years. First years don't really learn
Well,
spells.
show me them learning spells. He could learn one spell and use it. He didn't use a single spell that whole movie, so that was weird. So okay, I guess we can talk a bit about and then, uh, he becomes friends with Ron and how do you say her name? Hermione.
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 Yeah.
Actually like their edition a lot. I think Ron's funny. Hermione is like very talented, smart wizard.
Yes.
Is she a witch
Yep.
or wizard?
Yes.
Okay, witch.
Witch. Technically, they call in the Harry Potter universe, males are
Hmm.
wizards and then females are
Yeah.
witches.
The whole
But
the Quidditch game. I don't know how you feel. The stupid fucking game.
I
Absolutely makes no sense.
what?
Scoring makes no
I
sense.
love
It's
that
like
part of the series.
no, I like it. It's cool to watch. It's like but it's like
You don't
it's such a stupid game because it's not a team game. Whoever catches the fucking sorry for cussing again. The seeker, whoever catches that little ball
the little
is
ball
like the
with wings.
winner. It doesn't matter if you could be stomping 70 points to 0 points. Hell yeah. Seeker catches the little thing, 150 points, game's over.
No, the thing is, okay, it's supposed to be really hard to catch it. Okay, Harry's just really talented at catching it.
Okay.
It doesn't happen
Well,
like every game. Okay, it's not supposed to happen every game, kind of thing. Just
well, it's happened every game so far in the series, pretty much at this point. So
oh,
that's
yeah, okay. I don't know if that's true, but I mean,
Harry's first game. He catches it, dude. Like, okay, I'm
it's
gonna go. Okay, I'm going too hard on this movie, but to me, as a fiction fan, it is always weird when you tell me the main character is inherently special for no reason. For me, I'm past that. As I like characters that work hard. I don't need any more of this bloodline, like the chosen one thing. I don't know. To
I
me, it's
think
just I don't know. Maybe I'm old. Maybe I'm jaded. But to me, that's just boring. It's because I rather have a character that's like working hard, learning, and could have talent. I want someone that's talented and works hard. And
he's talking about Deku, by
to
the
me,
way.
No, Deku's not talented. Deku got like super lucky. If I'm referencing anyone, it could be someone like Mob, you know, because Mob is like, you know, he like works really hard to be like, you know, what he believes in, which is like the body improvement club, and I respect that, you know, someone that is working hard to improve themselves. But Harry so far hasn't shown much improvement. But it is the first movie, but it's fine. My point is, I don't. But they pretty much keep implying like, oh, you're special, Harry, just because you're Harry. So that to me is I don't like that too much, but you know it's fine. It's like a early 2000s very movie.
Yeah.
So that's fine. No, I'm sorry if I'm going too hard on it. Uh, anyways, Harry's literally just playing the game, just watching the game in the middle of the field, just like eating flies out there.
Uh-huh.
The rest of the team is carrying him. Like everyone's like, do something, Harry. And then Harry just like I think finally starts playing, cashes on the first game. So
Yeah.
to me that was just like that is so frustrating. What a bullshit score system. I would be so upset, dude. Like, oh god. Third thing that tilted me.
Oh my god.
Okay, so there's a game, right? And then event. What's up?
How many are in this list?
Okay. Oh no, it's fine. We can kind of keep going in the movie.
Uh-huh.
So the third thing. So eventually they go in that like little that basement, right, or like dungeon thing
Okay.
where they find the dog,
Yes.
and they.
His name's Fluffy, by the way.
Oh, Fluffy. Is that Fluffy? Is it Fluffy? Yes, Fluffy.
Yes.
A 3-headed dog, right?
Yes.
And they play that chess game, right? And that was cool. They kind of shown, you know, like the three kids were able to show their strengths.
Uh-huh.
And then, you know, he meets what's his name? Professor sorry, I have it here.
Professor who?
Professor Quirrell.
Ah, yes.
You know, the Jeff Bezos looking dude.
The Jeff Bezos looking dude.
Who has Voldemort in the back of his head, you know? So that was a little weird as well. I still don't understand the whole power scaling of this show, but that's fine. He has Voldemort in the back of his head, and then they, you know, I think he gets there, and they fight.
Well, Harry picks up the Philosopher's Stone, right? Yeah. I don't think they fight. I don't think Harry knows any spells, like you said. So.
Yeah. Well, I remember. To me, what was one of the things that was weird was the professor when he's down there. He starts trying to choke Harry. Remember?
Yes. Pretty violent.
And
for a kids movie.
And then after that, Harry puts his hand on his face and burns him, right? And they show Voldemort in the back of his head, and then, you know, he dies, right? And to me, I was like, to me, it was so weird because I was like, when did you get burning hands as a spell? You know, I was so confused. And as I watched more movies, it makes more and more sense. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So they're building. So I do think of it like, you know, we get to see the first layer. And in this movie, series so far, patience is paying off.
Yeah. You know why?
I'm judging the first movie on its own right now.
You know why he dies later on in the movies. So.
Who?
Quirrell. Why when Harry touched them, he turned into dust?
Oh yeah. Well, I think even Dumbledore at the end of the movie kind of explains sorry, not Dumbledore, Gandalf explains that his mom put like some sort of like a spell on Harry to be able to do that.
Charm. Mm-hmm.
Is it a one-time thing? Is it like an every-time thing? Because I know it's against Voldemort.
You asked me a question, or
I guess that's a rhetorical question. I'll answer because you probably know the answer. Okay. So, but to me, that just kind of was confusing. So far, every teacher is fucking useless besides like Snape. Snape's the only one doing anything around here, dude. Everyone else is literally just fucking doing nothing. What should we do? Gandalf is literally doing nothing in his office the whole day, just doing absolutely nothing, dude. Like, dude, I don't know. Gandalf is like the most useless character in the whole movie. and then, you know what pissed me off even more was, so we have like the final, like house point thing.
Yes.
And I think Gryffindor's last place, Slytherin is first place. And I'm like, okay, this is fine. That's realistic, you know. But then Gandalf is like, but wait, there's more. Let me just make up this arbitrary system to make sure that Gryffindor wins. Ron, you get 50 points for pretending to die. Hermione gets 50 points for being like, oh, before I go on, okay, let me finish this point.
Oh my god.
Hermione gets 50 points for like being smart.
Okay.
And then Harry gets 60 points for like 1v1ing Quirrell Squirrel.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, they're 10 points ahead of Slytherin and they win. First of all, if you're going to make an arbitrary point system, you got to give Harry more than 60 points for 1v1ing a wizard. Like, okay,
especially
if you're going to do this bullshit point, like, at least give Harry like 1,000 points. Like, make it, just go full send, go all in. But no, he's like, let me just give you enough points for you to win. Dude, if I was, no wonder Slytherin people turn evil. I don't know if they turn evil or not, but if I was Slytherin, I'd just be like, okay, the system's rigged. Literally systematic oppression. I'm done.
Oh my god.
Just saying, okay.
Okay. Yo, we're deep into everything here in detail.
So that's, okay. Let's talk about what I liked. I liked the effects. They kind of send test of time.
Oh.
I like the world building they've done so far.
It's nice. Very magical.
I like that. I like Snape. I like oh wait, before I go on, one last point I want to make is at one point in the movie, I think Hermione tells Harry, "You're a great wizard," and I almost threw my drink out because I was like, he has literally not casted a single spell. I don't know how you can call him a great wizard. Okay. Anyways, going back to what I like the mystery that they put little seeds here and there that I know are gonna like sprout and blossom as the series goes on. So I appreciate that.
Yes.
So that's what I like, And for the most part, I enjoy the movie. Like I said, it's a children's movie. It's an intro movie. For an intro movie, it's not bad, So that's what do you think? You want to give me feedback on what you think on my opinions?
You like thought about a lot of things that I didn't even consider. So there's a lot of things to think about actually now. But I mean, I liked a lot of it. Just like this kid who grows up in a family, doesn't know anything about magic, but then turns out he's actually from a magical family, and then he goes into this whole magical world. It's like when you're a kid, you want your life to be more than just life. You want to be something special, and then that's what Harry is. He becomes a wizard, and I think that magic of it encompasses the whole aspect of the first movie, where you come from this person who's like Harry has nothing, and now he's like suddenly facing wizards with two heads. I think that's cool, and I like it. That part of the movie kind of thing. That's what I think about it. I don't go into depth like Roberta about Jesus and magical wizards of Christmas or whatever.
I'm sorry,
but it's a good what's it called, aspect point of view of the movie that never thought about. So it was really nice. I mean,
by the way, so I know this from having Harry Potter friends, but I know there's also Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff. I don't think I've met a single Ravenclaw or Hufflepuff, and I'm on like in the fourth movie now.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it for you, but they don't really play that big of a role.
Okay, so are there people actually out there that like identify as Hufflepuff or Ravenclaw? Because if they do, I'm sorry, but you're low key kind of weird. Because how do you even know what they do, right? Because unless they talk about them in the books, I guess.
Yeah, there's a lot of lore of all four of them and how they get routed. Yeah, in the books, especially, I think there's more detail. I don't think they get really. I mean, houses play a more bigger role in the later movies. You'll see, but for now, it's just they just introduced it. It's not really that big of a difference. Yeah. So it's not really that important. I get actually, it kind of is the last few movies. So just wait, you'll see. But
okay,
yeah. Onto the
my rating.
Okay.
My rating. Okay, I rated the movie like I said. My children's score would be like 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. Like light 8, strong 7. And my more objective score would be like strong 6, light 7. So yeah. All
right, we spent a while on the first movie. When we go to the second one, we're talking about 3.
Yeah.
movies
Yeah.
today, so we're gonna put things up. So number two
I don't have a
is
lot to say about number two actually, but yeah, set it up for us.
is datably the longest. I believe the longest one because
Mm-hmm.
for the first movie they went according directly in the book. They left everything inside that happened in the book happen into the movie, and the second
Mm-hmm.
movie did as well. So that's why the second book was a really like a lot thicker. So they left a bunch of movie details in. So it was like 2 hours or something. It's like the longest movie that they have in the series.
Mm-hmm.
And it is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. This episode, I guess, not episode, the second movie, and it's when it's the second year. So the Harry and Ron and Hermione are now second years at this school, and they always start off during. I think they always start off in the summer, where
Mm-hmm.
they have like the family thing, and then there's this really creepy elf. Okay, I don't like him. A lot of people like him. I think his name's Dolby. Was it?
I don't know. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he tries to prevent Harry from going back to Hogwarts for the fall season,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know. I don't like him. He's very creepy. So they end up not being able to go because his family like seals him up because he doesn't want to be. He doesn't want the family doesn't want to cause him more trouble in the Wizarding universe. So they seal him up, but then Ron saves them, and then now like, they're back into Hogwarts.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is a more of a setup for. I think you learn more of the background of Voldemort here too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I'll say this much: I didn't really care much for this movie.
Mhm.
I felt like we learned some things, but I feel like compared to the third movie, like the first movie was a good setup movie,
Yeah.
and the third movie revealed a lot of things.
Mm.
And I like the third movie a lot,
Yeah.
actually. The most out of all of the three, I think. But the second movie, I feel like nothing, like a lot happened, but nothing really happened. Like,
Yeah.
the pacing was weird.
That's the reason why because they followed the book. So it's like random people getting petrified right throughout
Yeah.
the movie, and I was like, oh no, who's doing it? And then in the end, you found out like this is Snake Obelisk that's doing it. So
Hmm.
yeah, I agree. I don't really like this movie either. It's needlessly long for no reason, in my opinion.
Yeah. So let me think. So we have the guy from the Lord of the Rings show up. My precious dude show up at the movie at the beginning,
Uh huh.
and I remember I was confused. I don't understand why his uncle is such a dick to him. Like if his uncle was nice to him, Harry would be so much more approachable. He maybe even would listen to his uncle, but his
Uh-huh.
uncle's so mean for no reason.
Yeah.
Um, and I know I kind of heard that they explain more later how the real world sees magicians, but they haven't really explained that yet in the movies that I've watched.
Yeah.
Um, so then I know that yeah. So he sabotages the dinner, and then they lock him in his room. Then Ron shows up with his friends in like a flying car, not friends, sorry, brothers in a flying car. And when did Harry ask for help? Because I didn't see him ever ask for help, so I don't know how Ron knew. So to me, that like distracted me right away. I was like,
Oh
how
my
did you know,
God.
Ron? That was weird to me.
And also, how can he drive? You know, he's like what, 11 years old, 13 years old or
I mean,
something.
it's a flying car.
So-
It's a flying car. That's fine. I'm not too shocked by that. I'm more shocked by Ron showing up at all because it's like, if like somehow if Harry sent out an owl, I don't know. It's such a small addition, and it would have distracted me as much. Just send
Yeah.
out an owl, and then next thing you know, you see Ron show up. You know, or
I mean, I think they find out somehow on the news or something. Like Harry is being not going or something. I don't know. What kind of message? I don't remember the
I don't know.
details.
They don't show it at all.
Okay.
Then they show up a book signing thing with Ron's family, right?
Yes, the fake magician or the fake
The fake
wizard.
magician.
Uh huh.
And then Malfoy's dad, Lucius, like gives Ginny that one book,
Yes.
and then
Tom Ritter's
Harry
like
and
diary.
Ron,
Yeah.
Harry and Ron can't enter the passage to go back to Hogwarts, right?
Uh huh.
And
Man, you put
we
this in
find
all
out later
detail.
that we find out later that it's actually that my precious servant, right?
Yes.
Dobby.
Oh yes. The house elf.
Yeah, and then
They drive all the way
They
there.
yeah, they explain about a little bit about the Chamber of Secrets because Harry. So because Ron and Harry show up late in the car and pretty much almost total the whole school on their way, Harry gets attention and he finds a petrified cat, blood on the walls. I feel like Harry's always just set up to like get bullied. Like, I feel bad for him sometimes because he definitely gets a lot of hate around the school.
That's Harry. That's the main protagonist.
And then, which is fine, I guess, relatable. And then after that, they talk about the Chamber of Secrets. I think Harry overhears a conversation about it where he's asleep, and then, you know, um, I think they want to find out more about through Malfoy. So then they do like
Oh, the transformation
the
potion.
the morphine potion.
Yes,
That was a funny scene.
it's hilarious.
Yeah, I think wasn't Hermione like a cat or something?
Yeah, I think they did. I don't know what happened to Hermione, but I think they did it so that she wouldn't get enough screen time. So it's pretty sucks. She gets like no screen time.
Actually, yeah, she got like no screen time
That
in this
movie.
movie. I remember that. I remember that, which was kind of annoying because
Yeah.
I actually like her character so far.
So it kind of sucks.
And then he's playing a Quidditch game, and then I'm trying to remember. Was it this movie or was it the first movie where someone's messing with his broom?
Oh, I don't think
Oh, it was the first movie. The first movie.
This movie.
Okay, let's not talk about it then.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next one. So then, I think they find out through the crying girl in the bathroom about the Chamber of Secrets.
Oh yes, that she died.
Harry finds a diary randomly right in the bathroom. That was super. That was convenient, I guess. Actually, before we move on, there was one thing that pissed me off.
Okay.
So they're in class, right?
Yes.
With the fake professor, with the fake wizard,
Uh-huh.
Lockhart, and Snape is there, and Snape is telling them, "Hey, I think it'd be useful if we teach the students how to deflect unwanted spells."
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, "Okay." So then, instead of teaching them, though, they tell Harry and Malfoy to get on the table, and they start fighting. And I'm like, "Where's the teaching?" Like they just start fighting, and I'm like, this makes absolutely no sense. Like, why are they fighting? Like, there's literally no teaching involved. I don't know.
It's to to heighten the rivalry between them.
Yeah, and then
That's
I know after that, the one I guess so, but so far like Malfoy is fucking useless, dude. Dude's done absolutely nothing. This movie, the first movie as well. Like, dude's literally just a wet noodle as far as I'm concerned.
Wet noodle.
And then he, Harry reads the diary. The diary tries to blame Hagrid.
Yeah.
That he's the one pretty much killing people, right? With like a creature. So they take him to Azkaban, and then turns out, he's like follow the spiders, and then they follow the spiders, and it turns out there's like this monster spider that he's been hiding,
Mm-hmm.
and when he shows up, the spider's like, "Oh, I'm not dangerous to Hagrid, but I'm dangerous
To you.
To you." And I'm like, okay, well, let's fucking get rid of the spider. I don't know. It just made no sense as well. And then all of a sudden, the car shows up because I guess the car has a mind of its own. Like, they never explain like who did that.
Yeah. I thought
car
that was
just
weird
showed
too.
up.
When I first watched it, I was like, why does it show up? I was with my girlfriend. I was like, why does it just show up? It doesn't make sense. I agree.
Yeah, it was like, to me, I was like, why is there a car here that just has a mind of its own? I don't know. I know it's a magical car, but I didn't know we were watching the fucking Magic School Bus up in this movie.
Magic School with beep beep.
And then I think, through Hermione gets petrified, right? Which
Yeah.
is another way they got rid of her for screen time, which is kind of annoying.
Uh-huh.
And they find they go in the Chamber of Secrets.
Yes.
They find the spider, not the spider, so the snake, and I think Ron. Yeah, so Ron gets separated from Harry. Harry goes alone. And I remember he's running to Ron's sister, right? Jeannie.
Yeah.
He's running, and I distinctly hear his wand drop behind him. And I'm like, all right, someone's going to take his wand. Like, 100%.
Uh-huh.
And then, what's his name? The Riddle dude? With Tom Riddle?
Yeah.
Tom Riddle shows up, and he takes a wand. And then he doesn't even cast a spell against Harry. So was Tom Riddle a ghost? Oh, is he a projection? I think I didn't catch that.
I don't think he's a ghost. These are projection from the
He's not a real
diary.
human, right?
Yeah, from the
Okay,
diary.
yeah. So,
My
okay,
guess
so
is from the
okay, so,
diary.
yeah. And then Harry runs away from the snake, and then the Phoenix shows up. So the Phoenix shows up with like a hat that has a sword in it, right?
The Sorting Hat, yeah.
No, a hat with a sword in it.
Well, the hat's a Sorting Hat, which was the beginning where they chose
Yeah.
It's
How
like,
come the hat's not talking then?
I don't know. There's lore into it. The sword comes from the hat, apparently, in the lore. So that's why the hat was there.
I see.
And the sword only pops up for those who are worthy of using it.
Oh.
In desperate time
if
of
you're,
need, kind of thing. When it pops up.
So to me, what was interesting was, so Gandalf sends his Phoenix, right, to bring the hat to Harry.
Yes.
So why doesn't Dumbledore just show up? You know,
Yeah,
like, if
he's
you know where
useless
Harry
again.
is, he's so fucking useless. He's doing. I mean, I don't want. I'm talking about the character. I know unfortunate situations with the actor. So the actor, you know, if his role as the actor was to portray Dumbledore as useless, he nailed it. Dumbledore, and I blame it more on the script writing, obviously, but Dumbledore's done absolutely nothing, dude. Dude's absolutely just useless. And then he kills the snake with a sword.
Yeah.
Which is cool and all, but it was weird because it's like, when are you gonna use magic? You know? I don't know. So that was weird to me a bit. And then I think Harry is about to die to the snake venom, but I think the Phoenix heals him.
Yeah.
And he kills the book with like the fangs, right? Is it
Yeah,
a fang?
the fang of the obelisk is poisonous. It can destroy anything.
And then
and that's it. That's the second
so
movie.
after that so Dumbledore brings back Hagrid, and at the end, Malfoy's dad is literally about to kill Harry. Like, so Harry leaves Dumbledore's office, and then he runs to Malfoy's dad.
Yeah.
And then he talks shit to Malfoy, and he frees Dobby because I guess to free Dobby you had to get clothing from your master.
Yes.
And then his master gave him a sock, right? So Dobby's technically free. And then he gets mad, and I learned later that I guess one of the forbidden spells, which I learned in the 4 movie, is like the Abracadabra. And
well, that's the death spell, but
yeah, he was about in the movie he was about to cast a death spell on Harry. Outside of Dumbledore's office, like that was, I don't know, that makes no sense to me.
Well,
and then, turns out Dobby's like OP and just deflects it. I don't know.
House elves are known to be really good at magic, but because of their status or something, whatever, they turn into slaves, unfortunately. But they're really strong with magic.
Does he come back later in the series?
Yes.
Give me a yes or no.
Yes.
Okay. I don't hate him. He's not as annoying as like Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar Binks. Not really. I think I agree with your points this time around. A lot of stuff happened, but nothing happened.
Every movie they get a new defense against the dark arts teacher.
Yeah. So I learned this later on. Apparently there's a curse on the school. Apparently, like, no defense against the arts teacher has lasted more than a year in the school. So you'll see a lot of different teachers along the movie path. So
that's fine. That's a good way to like spice things up and also like just keep the plot moving.
So you learn more about who Tom Riddle is and stuff. It's just the more background.
One thing that I want to point out is that turns out that Tom Riddle, like, full name was anagram for I am Lord Voldemort, and that was like the dumbest thing ever. I think his real name is something Marlboro Voldemort. It was, dude, I don't know what this person I don't know what J.K. Rowling was on when she wrote this book. Her naming choices have been like sus as fuck.
There it is. All right, that concludes episode to movie 2, and we're gonna quickly move on to movie 3 right here because it's getting late into a podcast. So movie 3 is Harry Potter.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
and the Prisoner of Azkaban, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
And so it's another third year of the movie, and I think in the news that a prisoner from Azkaban has escaped, and he's apparently super dangerous. And watch out. And if you have any news, here, like tell the people. And it's just yeah, that's just how it starts out, I guess, for the movie.
Okay. Let me go
And
in on this.
here we go.
Okay. Okay.
Who-
Ready?
who-
Uh,
Keep it short,
Distracted.
okay? Just keep it short.
This movie fucking. Just kidding. Okay. When it came to this movie, I mean, I'm halfway through the fourth movie, which we won't talk about today. But so far, I like the third movie the best out of the ones that I've watched so far.
Hmm.
I like the tone, the pacing, the graphics, the use of characters, the story. Everything made more sense. It was so neatly and nicely wrapped, and that's a lot to say for a movie that includes time travel. So at the beginning of this movie, well, the only thing that really I hated the beginning of the movie, by the way. Like the first 10 minutes annoyed me because beginning of the
Of
movie,
the parents.
Harry's back at his adopted parents. He has like an aunt visit, and she's talking shit about his parents. And
Yeah.
Harry just blows her up and just sends her flying to the sky. And I'm like, dude, Harry's being a dick. Like that's not very cash. That's not cash money of you, dude. That's not a nice. Like I don't know. That just felt mean to me.
He's just
And then
talking shit about his parents, so he had to be like, "What'd you say?"
say to my face.
It was
But-
yeah. So
Okay, after
Yeah,
that,
dude.
however, he goes to he gets on that one bus that I guess is invisible to mudbloods or muggles, whatever.
yeah, that's pretty
Which
cool.
was so
scene.
that was cool. That was a cool little addition that shows you that some stuff the magicians do is invisible to the naked eye. So that was like, okay, I could see why some people aren't surprised when Harry uses magic or does something different. And then he goes to the Ministry of Magic for some punishment. Then the guy's like, "Oh, don't worry, dude. It's chill. You can
Yeah,
just
he's a chill
vibe."
dude. Yeah.
Next morning, he wakes up, goes downstairs. All of a sudden, Hermione and Ron are there for apparently no reason but to pick up their animals or something. Like Ron has a rat and Hermione has like a frog or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And to me, it's like, why are you guys here? Like, I didn't understand why they were there, but that annoyed me a lot. Like, I actually took a break from watching the movie because I was like, I'm so annoyed. Harry's a dick,
Oh my god.
and Hermione and Ron are here for no reason. And I was just really frustrated because I was like, why? And so I took a break, and I came back. And I'm glad I did because it got a lot better. Do you have any
Yes.
thoughts about what I just said?
I don't know. You look way into it. I didn't really care. It's just plot convenience, I guess, for them to show up early on.
Yeah.
They didn't really need to be there. They could just man on the train or whatever. So It was
Exactly.
weird.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying though. Like there's so small changes that you can make to show respect to the viewer and like because the view I like to think that if I'm taking my time to watch your movie, you should be and this is not J.K. Rowling, whoever like put this together, whoever wrote the
Yeah.
story.
the director.
I don't know if maybe she did it as well in the book, or maybe she explains it in the book. But at least to me, it was such a small change that could have gone a long way. To at least to me, I was like, I want movies that reward me for paying attention. Because if I'm paying attention, I'm gonna find stuff like this.
Yeah,
so-
like Easter eggs and stuff.
To me, I was like, why
Would
the
be
fuck
nice.
are you guys here? Like, it makes no sense that you guys are here at all.
Okay.
Anyways, they get on the bus, and yeah, they talk about Sirius Black, and I was actually pretty excited, and the bait and switch worked really well on me later in the movie because I was like, damn, that guy looks badass. He's gonna show up, and I bet he's gonna be like this badass magician, and he's just gonna like just probably wreck the whole place. So I was like, I think that's gonna look. I was excited. He gets in the bus. We find out about the Dementors, and I guess the Dementors just go after anyone.
No, they go after. They should go after the criminal who escaped.
But they almost killed
usually.
Harry.
Yes,
in the
because
bus.
Harry's special.
Oh, because of the mark.
Yes.
Yeah. So
It's, yeah.
after that, we find out about the new professor, Remus Lupin. I actually like this
Uh-huh.
character a lot. He's probably my favorite character in the series so far, besides Hermione. I think those two characters are probably my favorite so far in the whole series. So he does the expeliosis spell. Is that the right one? And then kills the Dementor. They get to the school. In the school, they kind of talk about how they're gonna be housing the Dementors, right?
Yes,
And
it's not Expelliarmus, but it's like something
oh,
Patrona.
Patronus charm.
Yeah, but details aside,
Yeah, Hagrid gets declared a new magical creature teacher,
mm,
which
I do like that.
I guess he was like a slave of Dumbledore before.
I guess he just wasn't that much of a person.
Like
I
he's
don't
not allowed
think
to
a lot
use
of people.
magic because of the whole
Yeah,
spider incident, right?
yeah, and
Um.
then
Oh yeah. So then they have a class,
there's an
and
incident.
he has like the little bird horse thing,
Bird horse
and
thing. Yeah, you can call it that.
what's it called? It's called a buckbeak.
Yes,
And
that's his name.
Harry is able to ride it, and then Malfoy is like, doesn't look that hard, and then he gets absolutely wrecked by it, and then he starts crying to his dad, and then I think sometime after that, Harry finds that map. Oh no, who gives him the map again? Ron. Ron gives him the map, right?
I think Ron's like brother,
Yeah, Ron's
older
brother
brother.
gives him the map,
Yeah,
which is pretty cool. And then that's when we start getting a little bit of backstory about so he can use that to kind of defend himself against Sirius Black, right? That was like
he's
the
back. Yeah,
but then he
saw the
sees
name.
what's his name? What's the name of the rat?
Oh, what is it?
Is it Tim
What's
something?
the,
Nah, blah, 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 blah.
I don't
It
remember his name.
is called
I hate him. That's why.
Peter Pettigrew.
Oh yes, Peter.
Yeah,
Yes, that's
Peter
true.
Pettigrew. So then
The, be-
he sees
the
him in the map.
betrayer.
So this map, I guess, shows everyone at Hogwarts, and he sees him moving in the map, but then he doesn't show up. And Snape is actually look at Snape, dude, walking on the halls, protecting the students, making sure all the students are fine and in bed. And where's Dumbledore? Nowhere to be found. Dude's done
Where's
absolutely
Dumbledore?
nothing, dude. Dude's done absolutely nothing.
He's
And
a busy minister doing paperwork.
yeah, so after that, I think they. Oh, yeah, so Harry kind of uses the invisibility cloak, right, to walk around that one town, and he finds out that Sirius Black was originally his godfather, so he's even more angry because he's like, oh, he betrayed my parents. And you
Yeah.
find out more about Harry's backstory, how he's like he's like one of the few people that have survived the meeting Voldemort,
Mm-hmm.
and
Probably like the only person.
yeah, and then he's like the only person to have ever. I mean, I don't want to get too far ahead, but in the fourth movie they talk about how he's like the only one to ever survive that death
Yeah.
spell, and then they kind of give us and then what was neat. So this movie, besides the beginning, it did reward you if you pay attention because they talk about werewolves, and then they start doing that one
Yeah.
exercise where you can see something that scares you, and you see that the professor sees the moon, and you're like, okay, he's a werewolf. And this is what I like when movies
Yeah.
reward you paying attention.
I
And was
noticed
like,
that
okay,
too.
I know you're a werewolf at this point. When is it gonna come up? And then they go visit. Hermione punches Malfoy, which is absolute badass moment, dude. Like I said, she's becoming my favorite character as show goes on. Harry has become pretty static. He's only getting more and more angry and frustrated and problematic. Ron also kind of sucks as time goes on. So far, Hermione pretty solid character. I like her. And they go visit not Gandalf. Sorry. I said his name.
Hagrid.
Hagrid. Yeah. And then you see all these little things. Like I think you see, like someone Harry gets hit in the head with a pebble. They run away. They think they see Buckbeak get killed. I think they see that one black dog that's been shown around the movie run away with the rat. They fight this tree. They go in this basement. Turns out the dog is Sirius Black, and then you see Sirius Black becomes a human along with the professor of
and the rat.
and then they're like, oh, the rat is actually
Peter.
like Peter. And then Ron's like, no, he's been with me for 12 years. And then he turns into the real person, and you're like, to me, I was like, wow, this is getting pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And then they go outside. The professor turns into a werewolf. The teacher, and then Sirius Black defends the students, and Snape is there defending the students again. I'm telling you, Snape is the unsung MVP of this movie series. Like he's actually Yeah, so far, so I think the more I talk about it, Hermione and Snape are like tied for first, and then this the professor Lupus I think his name is blah, blah, blah.
Lupin?
Remus Lupin.
Yeah.
So far my three favorite characters in the in the movie so far. But Snape
It's
is there
good.
defending the students. So at this point in the movie, I was really liking it, and then you see, I think the werewolf is about to attack Harry, but then you hear a wolf in the distance like howl, and the werewolf runs away to the howl, and I was like,
Yeah.
how fucking convenient! I was fuming. I was so upset. I was like,
Yeah.
what a I think the plot device is called Deus Ex Machina, where it was
Yeah,
essentially
Yeah.
something really convenient happens, and I was like, I am so frustrated. I can't believe
Uh-huh.
that's how they defuse the situation. And then Harry essentially starts getting killed, almost killed by what do you call it, the mentors. And then
Mhm.
you see someone decide do a spell. Harry thinks it's his dad. And to me, I was like, wow, okay, well, they're really laying a lot of groundwork. I think the next movie we'll probably find out more. But then turns out Hermione can do time travel.
Yes.
And Dumbledore being useless again is like, let me just turn a blind eye again.
Yeah.
Dude's legit. As far as I'm concerned, a government employee, dude. Absolutely, just turns a blind eye to anything. Doesn't do anything. Collecting paychecks. You know, I don't know. I don't know if anyone actually likes him as a character, but so far to me, unimpressive,
He gives wisdom. That's what he does.
dude.
Anyway, yeah, they go back in time with it. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
So that was pretty cool. And at first, I was like, okay, I guess we're interested in time travel. It's almost the end of the movie. What's gonna happen? And what I will applaud. I've been criticizing this movie a lot. Clap, clap, clap. You know, they tied it really well. They really, the way they did do time travel in this movie, it's like it seems like it's gonna be just one timeline. You can't really mess up the timeline. Everything that's already happened has happened. It's like, and so they go back and they explain a lot of things that weren't explained, like that were really convenient. You know, which is like when Harry gets hit in the head with like a pebble.
Pebble.
It was actually Hermione.
Yeah.
When
The
they
hell?
actually save Buckbeak. Um,
Oh, yeah.
and
Release them.
you know that the howl is also Hermione, which I
Yeah.
was like, oh wow, that is beautiful how they tie that back. They're about to give Eton, and then Buckbeak defends them, and yeah, so then eventually, they see Harry start getting killed by the Mentors, and then Harry casts the charm and pretty much
Mhm.
saves the day himself. And I found it beautiful because Harry said, the fact that I know that I did it made me feel confident that I could do it. So to me, I was like, wow,
Mhm.
that's a beautiful way to use time travel. I do
Yeah.
wish you kind of set up some restrictions. I don't know if they're going to set up restrictions for time travel, but when you introduce time travel, you're always going to have people like me that are annoying, questioning, like, why didn't you time travel to kill Voldemort in the past? Like, go back and kill baby Voldemort, you know? But I will try to. I'm trying really hard not to think about that. I'm sure they'll explain it more. This movie was really good. I like how Sirius Black is like his relative. And let me see. Let me see. I'm reading my thing. And oh yeah, and then Lupin resigns being a teacher.
Yeah, because parents
And
know that they're werewolf, and werewolves are kind of taboo, so
yeah, and then
that's why.
um Sirius gives Harry the newest broom, the 3001 or whatever. That was pretty cool.
2001 hot shot, whatever.
They free Sirius Black.
Yeah.
And so I like this movie a
Uh-huh.
lot. I would give this, like, a children's movie, probably a 10 out of 10. For my taste, probably like a light 9, strong 8. Pretty good,
That's
fun,
pretty good.
enjoyable.
That's nice.
Yeah. So anyway, sorry. I feel like this episode I just talked a lot, but I just had a lot of thoughts to.
That's good. That's good. Thanks to know your perspective. I mean, this episode's about you and your reaction to this movie, so that's really nice.
So far I'm enjoying it. I think I won't talk about the other movies yet, but
Yeah.
so far first 3 pretty strong showing. I think these movies also came out in a time where I think maybe I feel like early 2000s movies were like pretty basic, So I do think they are doing a good job.
Yeah. Over
setting up
time,
this
you can see
universe.
it. Yeah.
So I am enjoying it.
That's
Do you have
good.
any thoughts or feedback on what I've said so far? Do you agree, disagree? Anything that I said that stood out to you?
I agree. It's good. I mean, I thought it was really weird too, convenient, but then they added the time travel thing. It was really nice. And Hermione knows about it. If you didn't know, when they were hiding behind the what's it called, pumpkins in Hagrid's like backyard, Hermione saw herself, her
Oh
future
yeah, I
self.
caught that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. I didn't know about that. And then I mean, I like time travel, and they made it work really well. There's no like way like in how Marvel did it in like Endgame and
Mm-hmm.
Infinity War. They made it all this like explanation and stuff, whatever. But Harry Potter, they did it so it's easy to understand for kids, especially. So I appreciate that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a really nice movie. I like it. And I do have one question for you though, Roberto.
That's good.
What's the worst thing about prison?
Is that a true question? Oh,
What's the
the Dementors. Okay, let's wrap it up.
yes.
Thank you guys
Yeah,
for
thank
tuning
you.
in to episode 9, 8.
Yes, thank you.
I don't even know what we're doing about numbering
Uh-huh.
because of the or Bachelorette episodes. But thank you for tuning to today's episode. You know, make sure to like
Like
and
and subscribe.
yeah, thank you guys for tuning in and have a great weekend.
Peace.